Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome to my wild card tournament. So the winner of this will be invited to compete in Continentals. So I was really excited, but I knew it would be really difficult because, as I said, there is going to be 7 rounds of very difficult competition. Honestly, I truly believe that these tournaments are definitely more difficult than regionals. And regionals, obviously, you're in an invite. I think there's a few invites handed out. So I feel like there should have been more than one in these wildcard tournaments. But nonetheless, this is my performance. And as I said, it was 7 rounds. Definitely tough competition. So let's go ahead and take a look at my team. I am rocking Toxicroak, Noctowl, Munchlax, Azumel, Bronzong, and Skuntank. And my opponent, as you see, has Beedrill, the newly drill run Beedrill, right? Azumel, Skuntank, Noctowl, Munchlax, and Frostlass. So I don't think I gotta be real with you. I don't think I used Toxicroak once this tournament. I don't think. We'll see. I feel like I would have probably preferred to have Beedrill on the team. I really wish I had added Beedrill, but I didn't. But nonetheless, let's see how I did. Right? If we win, we get the invite. We'll see. So right now I do have my cute little Munchlax. Love this Pokemon for this cup. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to be able to take that Avalanche. Well, we're not going to be able to take it, but we do take it, which knocks us out. In comes Noctowl. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Noctowl. So he is up on energy, so I do have to be careful about that because obviously he switched in Noctowl to feint my Munchlax. So really solid play. So gonna hit us with the charge attack. I do let it go through, and I do get off my charge attack as well. By the way, this is the Sorcerer's Cup format if you guys didn't know. But anyway, almost getting to another one, but he does beat us there, so I am going to go ahead and opt to shield this so I can get off a Sky Attack of my own. So we're going to go ahead and fire back a Sky Attack. So this Sky Attack, let's see if it connects, let's see if he uses a shield. He is going to let it go through, so I'm hoping to get to one more. It's going to be super close. It looks like he over-tapped because he went for another wing attack, and we're able to get to a Sky Attack before he gets to it, and his Noctowl goes down. So I'm going to switch immediately into my Azumel. Now Azumel can take a couple of Shadow Balls, so it doesn't really matter. I just need to get to a Play Rough should be enough. Do I go for the Hydro Pump? I might go for the Hydro Pump. No, I don't. I just go straight Play Rough, and this should definitely be enough. I had no reason to go for the Hydro Pump, going for the Play Rough, and is that enough? Yeah, it is enough. So we do take game 1, so very well played to my opponent, and fantastic. Picking up a rare candy as well. Always appreciate those rare candies, especially since I want to invest more in my raid party, in Master League. So jumping into game 2. So he leads with his Munchlax, and I lead with my Noctowl. So Noctowl does have a pretty favorable matchup because we are going to double resist those licks. Obviously, we don't with Body Slam, but we also resist Bulldoze. So the only thing that's really doing damage is Body Slam. So I definitely like this matchup. So Body Slam is going to connect. It does a good amount. He switches into Frostlass to catch this Sky Attack, but I'm okay with that because it still does a lot of damage. And I'm going to bail into my Munchlax to do super effective damage with Lick. And he's going to go for Charge Attack. We are taking a lot of damage from Avalanche. And of course it's going to be Avalanche because Munchlax double resist Shadow Ball. So I do go ahead and go for the Body Slam because I was afraid he would get to another Avalanche. I knew this wouldn't knock it out, but actually it does knock it out. Never mind. I think I thought it wouldn't. But either way, he brings in his Munchlax, and we're going to go ahead and get off Body Slam. And this Body Slam is going to connect. Totally fine. We both still have 2 shields. He is going to go ahead and get to his Charge Attack, which is going to be Body Slam. Should be finishing us off. Yep, barely finishing us off, I think. So I do bring in my Noctowl. Again, we are double resisting those licks, so I do get to my Sky Attack. Now keep in mind, we both still have 2 shields, so does he invest a shield? Probably does. Yep, he does. So we're going to go ahead and invest that and get off a Charge Attack. We know what it's going to be. I am going to go ahead and shield this as well because I do have both shields. I didn't necessarily have to shield it, but why not? So getting to another Sky Attack, so this will be enough to knock out the Munchlax, unless if he commits his last shield. We'll have to see what he does. He is going to allow Munchlax to fall, and in comes Skuntank, so saving that shield for Skuntank, so I am able to get off another Sky Attack, so beautiful. Beautiful, before he gets to his Charge Attack, so that Sky Attack going to be shielded. So he does get off a Charge Attack. I am going to allow my Noctowl to go down. So Noctowl is going to go down, and I do have the final Pokemon going to be that Azumel, and I still have a shield, so we don't have to worry about Sludge Bomb because I could freely save this. Like I was assuming it was a bluff. Yeah, it is a crunch. Makes a lot of sense, but I could safely shield that and get to a Hydro Pump, which will be enough to knock out Skuntank. So we're actually going to be able to win round 1. So good game, but as you guys know, there's 3 rounds no matter what in these tournaments in Season 2. So we are going to go ahead and jump into Game 3. I still included Game 3s. I know a lot of you enjoy that. You want to see the whole experience. So I am leading with Munchlax against Frostlass. So pretty favorable. Lick obviously doing a lot. But again, Body Slam is going to be double resisted from us, plus Avalanche does a lot. So he does switch into his Skunk Tank, and we're going to go ahead and get off a Bulldoze. I'm hoping he would think it was a bait and not shield this one. I believe he does shield. Yep, he decides to shield, so nice shield on his end. I am going to switch into my Noctowl, so he will get off a charge attack. Could have stayed in with Munchlax. The reason I decided to bring in Noctowl was because I didn't really want Noctowl to be paired up against that Frostlass later on. So I'm going to get to a Sky Attack. Let's see how much damage this Sky Attack does. He is going to shield it, so he is down 2 shields. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I am going to use one of my shields right now. Going to be a Crunch. And trying to get to another Sky Attack before he gets to a charge move. We're able to do so. However, I don't think this is enough to knock out the opposing Skunk Tank. Let's see. Shouldn't be enough. No, barely not enough. And then we do feint him down, though, before he gets to a Crunch. So that's huge. In comes Frostlass, and I could have switched right there, but I was so desperately trying to get to a Sky Attack. I thought I could get to it, so I bring in Munchlax and bail immediately to catch the Avalanche. So we do successfully waste a lot of his energy and catch the Avalanche. The problem is he has so much energy stored up, he still has enough for a Shadow Ball. So enough for an Avalanche and a Shadow Ball, but I decided to let that one go through. And I believe he actually gets to another charge attack before we get to the play rough. Of course, it's going to be Avalanche, but I do decide to shield it. It is Avalanche. Probably could have lived that, honestly. But we do get to the play rough, and we're going to be able to knock out this Frostlass with this play rough. Couldn't bubble it down because he'd be able to get to another charge attack. And then in comes Beedrill. So Beedrill's going to be able to farm us down before we can get to play rough. So a little bit unfortunate there. And then I bring in Munchlax. Yeah, I mean, he has an energy advantage. Munchlax is a good Pokemon, but it's really not going to be able to hold its own. Drill Run does a good amount of damage, and 1 Body Slam is not enough. We need 2 Body Slams to knock him out, and I didn't think I could get to Bulldoze, so I go for the 1 Body Slam, and yeah, that's it. You know, his beautiful shiny Beedrill is going to be able to knock me out. So, really good game. I guess I should have switched earlier when I was battling the Frostlass instead of letting my Pokemon go down, but that is okay. So we're going to jump into round 2. So my opponent is running Beedrill, Azumarill, Noctowl, Bronzong, Alolan Muck, and Frostlass. So he is leading with Beedrill. I lead with Skunk Tank. So, okay, obviously I have to watch out for the Drill Run, and I am going to go ahead and get to my Crunch. So I decided to go for the Crunch. Going to do massive damage to the Beedrill. So that is shielded. Trying to catch a Drill Run, but unfortunately he bails into his Alolan Muck. So nice switch on his end. Wasn't able to catch that Drill Run, unfortunately. So I go for the Sky Attack, and that will do a lot to Alolan Muck, okay. And I believe I allow this one. Let's see, because I know, no, never mind, I don't. What am I talking about? I don't allow it. I could have taken it, but we're going to be able to get to a Sky Attack, so we are down a shield at the moment. Let's see if he decides to commit a shield. He does not, so we are down a shield. No, we're not, we're tied. Excuse me, I thought, never mind. That's right, he did use a shield earlier. So I'm kind of hoping to keep my Noctowl alive though, but you know, obviously he's going to do a lot, and then I am going to go ahead, and I wanted to switch, but I guess I clicked on the charge attack before I was able to switch. But he will shield, so we take his final shield, and then I am going to bail into Skunk Tank, and he's going to bail into his Beedrill and go for what I assume to be a Drill Run. Obviously going to do a good amount of damage. It is Drill Run. It's actually enough to knock us out. I thought I could have taken it. I don't know why I thought that. So I'm going to bring in my Noctowl. He has enough for an X-Scissor. X-Scissor is definitely going to knock out my Noctowl at that range, as it does. So my final Pokemon going to be that Munchlax, but I don't know. I don't know if Munchlax has the power to be able to beat this Beedrill. Well, it might. So Drill Run, going to do a good amount of damage. I am charging up extra energy, and then I do go for the Bill Run, so I'll almost add a second. I don't go for the Bill Run. I go for the Body Slam to knock out the Beedrill. In comes Noctowl. So I still have a shield. I'm going to go ahead and shield this. But I was thinking, okay, the Licks are not doing any damage. I wasn't sure if 2 Body Slams was going to be enough. So I do get to 1 Body Slam, and I do go for it, of course. So let's see. Let's see if this is enough. It is not. Can we get to another one? We do get to another one. I'm like, please be enough, please be enough, please be enough to knock out the Noctowl. It's going to be close. It's not enough, and he gets to a charge move. So it looked like a CMP tie, and he's going to knock out Munchlax. So very close game. Yeah, I mean, Beedrill, I'm telling you, Beedrill and Frostlass were definitely giving me problems in this tournament. I'm not even kidding. So I'm leading with my Munchlax against Frostlass next. So we're definitely doing super effective damage with Lick. So he does bail into Noctowl. I'm going to go ahead and what do? I guess I decided to switch. So I switch into a Zoom Arrow. I didn't really know what to switch into. That's why it took me a second. But it looks like we caught a Night Slash. So that was really good. Better to take a Night Slash than it would have been to take a Sky Attack. So my Azumarill going to be hit with this Sky Attack. Totally fine. So I am charging up, and I do go for my play Rough, hoping to bait a shield. If he does not shield, this is still going to do a good amount of damage, but he does shield, so that's good for us. So I think now I want to get to a Hydro Pump. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this. I believe at this range, Hydro Pump should be enough. If not, it's going to get it very low. Or he could decide to shield, but then he'll be giving up both shields. So let's see what he decides to do. So we do go for that Hydro Pump. That is enough to knock out Noctowl, so I'm glad he let that go, to be honest. So let's see what comes in. Going to be that Beedrill. That deletes me in one Poison Jab, of course. So in comes my Noctowl. He switches. I'm going to bail immediately. And I do go for my Bulldoze. I am going to go straight for Bulldoze. Not going to bluff, because if he doesn't shield, Body Slam's not going to do anything. So he does not shield, so that's huge. So I am going to go ahead and take this Avalanche. So Munchlax definitely able to take it. It still does a lot, absolutely, but we're able to take it. And my goal is to lick him down. We're not able to do so, but I'm actually okay with that. So I'm going to allow my Munchlax to fall. So Avalanche will knock me out, but I have my Noctowl. He cannot get to another Avalanche. And he has Beedrill as his last Pokemon. So Noctowl totally walls Beedrill. It resists its charge moves, X-Scissor, and Drill Run. So since I have a shield, I might as well use it. I do get to a Sky Attack, obviously expecting him to shield, totally fine. Because I knew I would be able to get to another Sky Attack. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So he does get to a Charge Attack. I think it's an X-Scissor. But again, Noctowl heavily resists that, plus it's a bulky Pokemon, so we're going to be able to get to it. Honestly, I think the Poison Jabs are doing more damage, but so we're able to get to it, and Noctowl is able to knock out that Beedrill, so we do go ahead and win game 2. So currently 1-1 in round 2, so we're going to go ahead and jump into game 3. So this is game 3. I am leading with my Bronzong this time. He's leading with Beedrill. So Beedrill does have Drill Run, but Beedrill is also taking super effective damage with Confusion. So that's definitely good for us. He brings in the Lowland Muck. I am going to bail a little bit slow on the switch, but I do bring in my Munchlax. Let's see what he decides to go for. I'm going to take it because I know I could take whatever attack it is. Going to be that Sludge Wave. Does massive damage. So let's see what attack I decide to go for. I do go for the Body Slam. And hoping to bluff the shield, and we do go ahead and get the shield, so that's definitely good for us. I am going to shield this. Now, I make a huge mistake, so I think I played well in this tournament for the most part, but I make a mistake. I'm going for the Bulldoze, but he gets to a charge attack before I'm able to get to the Bulldoze, so that's not the mistake. So I charge up enough for the Bulldoze, right? And I go for the Body Slam. So totally fine. That's totally fine, he shields. So now I'm charging up to the Bulldoze. Why do I not go for Body Slam? It's a CMP tie, he wins, and he's able to knock out my Munchlax. A Body Slam would have knocked him out at that range. So there was no reason for me to try to go for the Bulldoze. I should have went for the Body Slam. So that was definitely a mistake. So at that point I thought I lost this game because that was definitely a huge mistake on my end. So he is going to go ahead and go for the Dark Pulse, doing a lot of damage, but I commit to the Farm Down. Even if Frostlass comes in, but nope, it's going to be a Zoom Out. So it looks like we have back-to-back Sky Attack. So I'm going to go for one, hoping to hit all the bubbles because I want to try and stay alive. So we get one, and then I bail because I know he has Beedrill. However, he brings in his Beedrill, I guess maybe to try and go for a Drill Run. That's what I was afraid of, so I go immediately for the Psyshock to knock out the Beedrill. And then he brings in his Azumarill, and I knew, even if this is a Hydro Pump, shouldn't be enough to knock us out. It isn't. It's close, but it's not enough to knock us out, and we're actually able to get to a Psyshock. So we do get to that Psyshock, and that Psyshock is going to do a good amount of damage. He will faint me right after, but we have the Noctowl with Sky Attack, and this is going to be enough to seal the deal, and we're going to be able to knock out that Azumarill. So I feel like I deserve to lose that one after that pretty bad play on my end of not going for Body Slam with Munchlax, but we do win nonetheless. So jumping into round 3 against this very powerful trainer. So let's take a look at his team. He has Beedrill, Azumel, Noctowl, Hypno, Skuntank, and Frostlass. So again, Beedrill and Frostlass. It seems like I cannot escape Beedrill. It's so good for this cup. I wish I used it. But anyway, it's a Skuntank mirror match. He is going to go for a charge attack first. Totally fine. I am going to take it. It is going to be a crunch. So we're going to be able to take that crunch. And I am going to go ahead and go for a crunch of my own. Again, these are resisted, but I might as well go for it, right? I don't want to lose switch advantage, and I guess neither does he. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a crunch, another one. So let's see if he decides to shield this one. He does. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and shield it, and he does get off a charge attack. I am going to go ahead and shield this one up, trying to win switch advantage, but he actually has flamethrower, so nice play. Maybe he was baiting me earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and go for a crunch right now. Again, trying to win switch advantage. He does opt to shield that though, so I knew that he was going to be able to beat me to a charge attack. Or not beat me to a charge attack, but perhaps farm me down. So I'm going to go ahead and shield that one up, and I actually get to a crunch. Never mind, I beat him to the crunch. I thought he was going to be able to beat me, but no, I actually beat him. Well, I didn't think he was going to beat me, but I thought that I was going to lose that from a poison jet, right? But anyway, he switches. Nice switch immediately. I could have kept Munchlax in. That was more or less a blind switch, because when he switched, I decided to switch immediately. But again, I don't really want my Noctowl paired up with Frostlass anyway, so I'm just going to do tons of damage with my Noctowl. He is going to go ahead and get to a Thunder Punch. It's not going to be enough. It is super effective, but he has another one, so he's going to be able to knock out my Noctowl. So Noctowl does collapse. Okay, so I bring in my Munchlax. I'm like, well, I am going to go ahead, and I was thinking about farming it down. I was a little bit too nervous. So he is going to get off a Thunder Punch. So Thunder Punch doing a decent amount of damage. He switches in his Pokemon, so I'm going to immediately go for my charge attack, my Bulldoze. Once I saw the switch, definitely going for the Bulldoze. But he does get to an Avalanche, so he's going to be able to pick up this game. Avalanche, not actually enough, but again, it doesn't really matter. He's going to be able to win that one. So fantastic game, really well played to my opponent. So we're going to jump into the next one. Noctowl versus Noctowl. So we do have a Noctowl mirror match right now. So we'll have to see who wins this one. I guess we're both sticking around. So I am going to go ahead and charge up a couple. I think I'm waiting for him to attack. I decided to throw mine at some point, so I do throw it right now. Let's see. He's probably going to take this attack. He does. And I am able to get to another one, but he gets off his first, so I will take it. I'll follow suit and take his attack. And we're going to be able to get to ours, so totally expecting the shield, because if not, this is going to get his Noctowl very low. So he does shield it, and he gets off his. I am going to do the same and shield. So my Noctowl is going to not take any damage from that Sky Attack. Totally fine. So let's see what happens. I am going to not get to a Sky Attack. He gets to his first, so I will shield this one up and try and knock him out. So I am going to go ahead and form my Sky Attack. So he could use his last shield, or he could let his go. So let's see. He doesn't let his go, so he is up a shield. So bringing in Skuntank. So trying to get to another Sky Attack. We get to it, but we can't click on it. That's really unfortunate. So his Skuntank is loaded on energy now, so definitely not a good situation. Plus he's up a shield, and I don't have a great answer for Skuntank either. So not really a good situation. So I do have my Munchlax. Trying to go for Bulldoze. He does go to another Crunch. Let's see if this is going to be enough to knock me out. It is not. And we do manage to get to a Bulldoze before we go down. I wasn't sure if he would commit the last shield against this. He does commit the last shield, so he is down a shield. However, I'm down to my last Pokemon. Going to be a Skuntank, so I'm like, well, maybe if he has something that's weak to Skuntank in the back, maybe we could pull it off. But he does go for Flamethrower. It just does so much damage. He brings in his Hypno, and I actually thought that gave me a window of opportunity, to be honest, because I'm like, well, now I have back-to-back crunches, so I'm going to be able to knock him out. But I was worried about his Skuntank in the back being able to farm me down, so I wanted to farm up more energy, but he was able to get to a Thunder Punch. So he's still able to win that. So I do lose that round, but again, we're going to be playing Game 3 anyway. So good game to my opponent, so I am losing round 3, but let's see what happens in game 3. I am leading with Azumel versus Frostlass. So, Frostlass going to be bailing into Azumel, so I decided to stay. Generally, my Azumel should win this one, just because I do have an energy advantage, because he switched out, and I have Play Rough. And he probably has Play Rough as well, so I'm going to go for the Play Rough, obviously. You definitely want to go for Play Rough in the mirror match, should you have it. so he's going to go ahead and go for a play rough. So he does have it, totally fine. But again, we're going to try and get to another one. We do get to it, so we're going to be able to go for play rough, and this is going to go unshielded. So we just need to get to one more. He is going to be able to get to his, of course, right now, but we're going to be able to take it. Now, okay, so we do take that play rough, and we're going to be able to get to another one. We'll have to see if he decides to shield it. He might shield this and try to go for a play rough. We'll have to see. But I knew he wouldn't be able to farm me down before I got to another play rough. So he does shield, but he actually bails into Skunk Tank to try and farm me down. So that was a nice play, but I do switch into my Noctowl because I do not want to be farmed down. So he's going to go for a charge attack. Going to be that crunch. Does a good amount of damage, but we're able to get to the Sky Attack right now. So trying to do some heavy damage. It does go unshielded. We are currently up a shield, which is always good. I am going to go ahead, and opt to shield this one because that would have knocked me out, and I really do want to win switch advantage. So at this point, I just farm him down. So we do farm Skunk Tank, and in comes Frostlass. Obviously, Frostlass going to do well against Noctowl, but this is still going to do a lot of damage. Can we get to another one? We're actually able to get to another one before he farms us down. That was huge. I'm telling you guys, I think I mentioned it already, but Beedrill and Frostlass were the bane of my existence in this tournament. They were all over the place, and it makes sense. They're fantastic for this cup. Absolutely amazing. So if you want to, you might want to consider, I'm not using it either, but you might want to consider it. Anyway, I have my Munchlax against the Azumarill right now. I'm going to go ahead and shield this and lick down. Hydro Pump would have done a tremendous amount of damage to me, so I'm going to be able to lick down his Azumarill, and he does get to an Avalanche. Okay, he has it, but that's not going to knock out my Munchlax. We're going to definitely be able to take that, and we do get to a Bulldoze, and this is going to be able to knock out that Frostlass. So, what happened? Well, we are able to win that game, but he still won the round. So, currently 2-1 right now. This is the third round. So, fantastic game. It was a pleasure battling, man. So, we're jumping into the next game in the next round. Round 4, going to be Bronzong, Azumarill, Linoone. Very interesting to see Linoone, Toxicroak, Skunk Tank, and Frostlass. So he bails into Linoone, and I decided to just stick around, you know, because I know we resist Grass Knot. We don't resist Thunder, but it's unstab. It's not stab. So I do go for the Crunch, and he's going to go for a Charge Attack. So I was like, okay, it's probably Thunder. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. As it is, it's going to be Thunder, and I decided to shield because he decided to shield as well. So I'm going to go ahead and charge up extra energy. Now, I was counting, so I knew this couldn't have been enough for a Thunder, so I let it go, and it's only a Grass Knot, which we do resist, so we're able to take that Grass Knot, and I am able to go for this Crunch. Doing a lot of damage, and then we're able to farm down, so we do have energy ready to go. Winning the lead, definitely huge. In comes Toxicroak, so we're able to get to a Crunch before we go down. So this Crunch going to do a lot of damage. And so, okay, we go down. Unfortunately, we don't have Noctowl or Bronzong with us. I don't really want to bring in Munchlax, so I bring in the Azumarill. And Azumarill going to be hit by a Charge Attack. I do decide to shield it up. Even if it's a bait, I don't want to take the chance, but it's a Sludge Bomb, so we luckily call that. I am going to go for the Play Rough. And we'll have to see. Does he decide to shield this one up? He might, be if he thinks he can get to a Sludge Bomb, but he decides to let it go. In comes his Azumarill. So when I saw that, I was like, absolutely beautiful. Because we're going to be able to dish out a lot of damage with our Play Rough. Now, he should win this match. He definitely will. Because he has a shield. He's up a shield, in other words. Plus, we were down health anyway. So there's no doubt about it. He's definitely going to be able to win this match, I believe. Let's see. So he does go for the Play Rough. And I'm trying to get to mine. I should be able to get to another one. We do get to it. And again, guys, keep in mind, this is his last Pokemon, so he's going to have to shield. He decides to shield that one, and he's going to go ahead and get to his Play Rough. So my Azumarill is going to go ahead and fall. Totally fine. So Play Rough coming out. Azumarill does go down. In comes my Munchlax. And at this range, we take a Hydro Pump, right? We could take a Hydro Pump. He is going to go for a Charge Attack. I'm assuming 100% it's a Hydro Pump as it is, but we could take it. So I charge up to 2 Body Slams. Wasn't really necessary because 1 Body Slam was enough, but honestly, I was unsure if it would be. But it actually is, so we're able to win that with cute little Munchlax. Loving Munchlax this tournament, or this cup, by the way. So jumping into Game 2. So I'm leading with Bronzong, so it's going to be a Bronzong mirror match. So, you know, obviously this can go either way. It depends on who baits. It depends on who shields the bait. So I'm going to go straight Bulldoze, hoping he calls the bait. I just go straight Bulldoze right here. And let's see if he decides to shield. He does not. Oh, he does. Excuse me. He does. So I'm trying to get to another one. He does go for a charge attack, and I call the bait. Why do I call the bait? Well, because first of all, I knew I could still take Bulldoze at that range, even though it would do a lot. And we get it. He used Psyshock, so we get the bait. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this. I thought this was probably another Psyshock, so I probably shouldn't have even shielded that, but I did. So I'm going to go ahead and go for my Bulldoze again. Let's see if he wants to commit both shields. He does not. So I'm going to get him super low. Unfortunately, he gets to a charge move. So I'm like, I'm going to shield it because I want to win the lead. So it is a Bulldoze, so nice shield on my end. So he is going to bring in his Azumel. So, okay, Azumel is going to have a difficult time farming me down just because, yeah, he might be able to, but we're going to be able to get off a couple Psyshocks if he decides to. So, let's see. He might throw a charge attack. We're actually able to get to another Psyshock, so perhaps he is trying to farm me down, which is not necessarily a bad play. Actually picking up a shield, so I'll take it. So we actually bail to try and maybe farm down, but he does get to a charge attack. And it's going to be that Hydro Pump doing a lot of damage, and then he switches into Toxicroak. I'm like, maybe I made a mistake switching into Skunk Tank. But we bring in Bronzong, we get one more Confusion in, doing a lot of damage, and then I bring in Munchlax. So I'm like, okay, let's get ready for Game 3. I was not expecting to win this one at all. So it's going to be a Sludge Bomb. And I knew one Body Slam would be enough, so we do get to that Body Slam, and this is going to be enough to knock out that Toxicroak. So it's just his Azumel, which is out of energy because it threw a Hydro Pump. And we're able to get to a Body Slam with like 1 HP left and knock out the Azumel. Unbelievable. I cannot believe I won that game. I feel like I shouldn't have switched into the Skunk Tank. I probably should have just let him farm me down with Azumel and then brought in the Skunk Tank. Yeah, maybe, but that one extra Confusion from Bronzong against Toxicroak also helped me out as well, I would say. So, I don't know. Either way, we still won that. We won the round, but we're going into Game 3 with an Azumel mirror match. So, I'm just sticking it out. I have Play Rough, so basically just a mirror match, right? Gonna go ahead and go for my Play Rough right now. Okay, now he's gonna go for what I assume to be a Play Rough. You don't go for the either other move, unless if you don't have Play Rough. So, he does. So, gonna go ahead and go for another Play Rough. So this Play Rough going to get him pretty low. We just need one more to knock him out, and he's going to be able to get to his, though. So he does get to his Play Rough, and I let it go through. I'm just matching shields. If he decides to shield, I'm going to shield. So going to be a Play Rough. It does get us super low. I actually bail immediately into Skunk Tank to farm him down, and luckily we do farm him down. So he does bring in Toxicroak, but at the same time, Skunk Tank still won the lead. So even if he does damage to us, I'm still okay with that. But he also shields, so we do get a shield as well. So that's definitely a great situation for us, because he's going to go for a charge attack to knock out my Skunk Tank. I'm totally okay with that because we have Bronzong. So we're going to be able to delete him in a couple confusions. However, he switches out into his own Bronzong. But we're at an energy advantage. We're like one confusion ahead because he switched out. So we're going to go for the Bulldoze. Straight Bulldoze, no bluff. He doesn't shield. Still able to take it. I do switch into my Azumel to catch the charge attack. So his Bulldoze is going right into my Azumel. So we still have 2 shields. This is a beautiful situation for us. We're able to get to the Psyshock. I thought this would be enough. I don't remember if it is. Well, he shields it, so obviously it's not. He really has to shield, and I still have 2 shields, so I could freely shield these attacks, even if they're bluffs. It doesn't matter because a couple confusions gonna be enough to knock out his Toxicroak. So what happens is I decide to just go for my Psyshock against Toxicroak, and that's easily going to knock out Toxicroak. I could have just went for Confusion, I guess, but we finish it off with Psyshock. So we're going to be able to win round 4, so we're going to jump into round 5. So taking a look at my opponent's team. Going to be Beedrill, Frostlass, Bronzong, Munchlax, Skunk Tank, and Azumel. So I'm leading with my good old Munchlax. He's leading with Skunk Tank. So we'll have to see how this plays out. We'll have to see if he wants to shield the Bulldoze or if he shields the Body Slam. So he's going to go for a charge attack. I know I can take the first one, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I do charge up enough for 2 Body Slams and go for Body Slam. Now, does he shield this thinking it's a Bulldoze? He might. He does. So we do get a shield, and now I'm trying to get to my Bulldoze. So I'm going to go ahead and use my shield against this Skunk Tank right now because I knew I would be able to get to Bulldoze. Now, but he switches. That was a beautiful switch, by the way. So I'm not assuming he's going to shield that. No, it goes into a Azumel. So beautiful switch on my opponents, and that was fantastic, man. If you're watching this, that was a beautiful switch. So I am going to go straight Sludge Bomb, not bluffing around. It only takes one more attack to get to compared to Crunch. So why bluff it? Why risk it? Just go straight for it. So he does bring in his Skunk Tank, and I'm going to be able to take this attack. It is going to be Crunch. So able to take a Crunch just fine. Going to charge up a little bit extra and go for a Crunch of my own. This should not be enough to knock out his Skunk Tank, but I thought I could farm him down as I do. So he's down to his last Pokemon, going to be that Frostlass. So I knew this Crunch would pick up the shield. There's no way you don't shield this. You have to actually shield this. So he does shield it. So I'm looking at my back row and I'm like, I was hoping to catch the Avalanche with Munchlax. I wasn't able to do that, so that's unfortunate for me. And then I bring in my Noctowl. I actually think that could have possibly cost me because I allowed him to farm up more energy. I could have just brought in Noctowl and just farmed up enough for a Sky Attack and shielded the first one. Plus, I could still take another one. So at the end of the day, I'm actually able to win this one. But trying to catch that Charge Attack with Munchlax probably wasn't necessary and almost cost me the game, to be honest. But was still able to win that one. But again, we're still able to win. So good game to my opponent. So jumping into game 2. So he's leading with beautiful shiny Beedrill. I have Bronzong, so huge matchup for Bronzong, although you do have to watch out, obviously, for the Drill Run. Switching into Munchlax. Now, Lick obviously does a tremendous amount to Frostlass, but a couple Avalanche, going to be enough to knock out a Munchlax anyway, right? So I'm going to go ahead and charge up energy. I do shield this, and then I'm going to go for Body Slam. I believe I go for Body Slam, hoping maybe he'll think because a Bulldoze would be enough to knock out Frostlass at that range. But I was hoping he would possibly shield. He doesn't, but that's still okay because I'm able to farm down Frostlass. So we still get energy, and in comes Beedrill, and I'm going for Bulldoze. Man, he gets to a Charge Attack before I can get to Bulldoze. Maybe I should have went for Body Slam, but I'm okay with that because he just used up his energy and we bring in Bronzong. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Bulldoze. Again, I'm just hoping my opponent thinks that I'm bluffing and they don't shield, but he does decide to shield, so I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Skunk Tank, which is a good matchup for me. But again, you do have to watch out, obviously, for the Bulldoze, which would do a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and shield this. It is Bulldoze, so we do shield correctly, and we do get to a Crunch. So, earlier I definitely should have went for the Body Slam against Beedrill, but I thought I could beat him to the Bulldoze, but I wasn't able to. But that's okay. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Crunch. So this Crunch is going to do a lot. Not enough to knock it out. We actually do farm down with Poison Jab, funny enough, because that's double resisted. In comes Beedrill. We get to a Crunch. Huge. We get to a Crunch. Going to do massive amounts of damage. He is not going to be able to farm me down at all. He's going to have to throw a Charge Attack, but we're able to just farm him down and take that game. So that was the set, wasn't it? But we are still jumping into the final game. By the way, this trainer, I believe, is an elite trainer, so it's really exciting to battle them. I believe. So it's going to be my Azumel versus his Skunk Tank, so we'll have to see how this plays out. Obviously, we're taking a lot of damage from Poison Jab, but I don't want to switch. I called the bait. I was like, okay, let's see if he baits. I already won the set, so it's like, to me, it was like, okay, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way because he didn't bait. So I guess I should have shielded that, but at the end of the day, I won the set already, so I was just more or less taking it easy on this game, but that's totally fine. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Munchlax. We're really not in a good situation. I really don't have an answer to Skunk Tank, so he is going to go ahead and go for Crunch, which will do a lot of damage to my Munchlax. Trying to get to Bulldoze, I just want to knock this thing out. Man, I am having a difficult time. Like, I could have switched out my Azumel, I guess, but I don't really know what to switch into. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the Bulldoze. So does he want to commit his last shield? He might want to. Or he might take it. He's going to take it, so Skunk Tank collapses. Okay. So in comes Frostlass. So Frostlass probably going to try and farm me down. Actually going to switch into an Azumel. So I'm going to go ahead and get off a Body Slam before I go down. So this Body Slam going to connect, and then I'm going to pull the switch into my Skunk Tank. And I'm like, well, maybe he gave me a window of opportunity to win. I thought I was going to lose, but I am going to go ahead and shield this attack. It is going to be a Play Rough that's neutral to my Skunk Tank. I am going to go for a Crunch, hoping he thinks it's a Sludge Bomb. But honestly, even if he thought it was a Sludge Bomb, he probably wouldn't have shielded anyway. But, I was like, we could farm down. Yes, so we farmed down. So that's ultimately what I wanted to do. So we were able to farm down and get to a Crunch, so that's good. This this is going to definitely force the last shield. It has to. That would have knocked out Frostlass, but he has energy for an Avalanche. So Avalanche going to do a tremendous amount, almost knock me out. And then he just feints me with a Powder Snow, and then he feints my Munchlax. Munchlax is dead on the floor, and he's going to win that, but we won the round. So we're going to jump into round 6. My opponent has Skuntank, Azumarill, Alolan Muck, Bronzong, Frostlass, and Medicham. So pretty cool team. So definitely picking up the lead with this poison attacker, so we'll have to see what happens. I'm not going to bait, I'm just going to go straight Sludge Bomb. As I said, only takes one more to get to a Sludge Bomb. And if he doesn't shield, that's huge, as you can see there. So now I can just farm down. Obviously, I don't want to take a Hydro Pump. I probably can't at this range. It's going to be a play rough. Probably could have taken that, but again, now my Skuntank is healthy. So we're probably going to be able to get off a couple more moves. In comes Frostlass, so this is 100% going to force the shield, no doubt about it. I think it's got to, right? Yeah, he does force the shield, and I'm like, I'm not going to switch. So he does get to an Avalanche. I'm going to go ahead and shield this because I want to take his last shield or his Frostlass. So I do get to a crunch. So we're either going to take his Frostlass or his last shield. This should definitely be enough to knock out Frostlass. We do take his last shield, and now I'm trying to catch an Avalanche. Unfortunately, I was not able to catch it. So now this is going to be a Shadow Ball. I tried to waste that energy, but that's totally fine. So he's going to bail into his Bronzong, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually not that bad for us, because now we're able to get to a Hydro Pump, which is neutral to Bronzong, does a lot of damage, and yeah, going to do a tremendous amount. So he should be able to beat my Azumarill with the Psyshock, but we still got that Bronzong really low, which is huge. So Psyshock is going to be able to knock us out. We still have a Noctowl, keep in mind. I bring in my Noctowl, so I'm like, it doesn't matter what he throws at us. We could take a Psyshock. He's not going to throw Bulldoze because we double resist it. We could take a Psyshock. He's going to get us pretty low, but we could still take it. Relatively low, right? Especially with the confusions adding up. And we're going to have enough for Sky Attack. So I'm going to be able to throw the Sky Attack into Frostlass's face. And it's not going to knock it out, but we're actually able to get to another one. That's how much energy we charged up trying to farm down that bulky resisted Bronzong. So we're actually able to win that game. So really well played to my opponent. So winning game 1. Jumping into game 2 against AC Phoenix. So I'm going to lead with Noctowl, and he's going to lead Frostlass. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Again, I like to try and catch the Avalanche. I decide to throw my Sky Attack because this is still going to do a lot of damage to that Frostlass, and he does shield, trying to catch the Avalanche. Again, wasn't able to do so, so we know this is going to be a Shadow Ball. Some nice play, maybe over farming. To see if I was trying to bail to catch it. So really well played on my opponent's end. He does switch into his Azumarill, which was actually a good play because now his Azumarill, after he threw that Shadow Ball, his Azumarill is definitely going to be able to beat me. Assuming he has play rough, even if he didn't, he should be able to beat me at this point. But at least in this match. So he's going to get to a play rough and he's going to use it. I'm going to take it. So it does get us low. I guess I could have shielded. I am going to go for a play rough of my own. We are currently up a shield. Yeah, I guess I should have shielded that. Didn't really think about it. I could have shielded that and got to another play rough. He is trying to farm me down. Oh, that's right. I remember this game. He's trying to farm me down that he doesn't throw his energy, and I'm actually able to get to another play rough and knock out his Azumarill. So we actually played that right because he was trying to farm me down. So we actually got pretty lucky there. But his Frostlass comes in to feint me down. So obviously don't want to bring in Noctowl, so I bring in my Skuntank. And Skuntank is going to still take a lot of damage from this, but we're up a shield. So I'm going to go ahead and shield it. Going to be an Avalanche. So we do get to a crunch, and I do throw the crunch. So crunch is going to be shielded, as expected. So let's see if he wants to throw his Avalanche. He does throw it. I am going to go ahead and shield this. I think I make a mistake here. Let's see. I could be wrong if this is the game. Yeah, I overfarm. And he gets to an Avalanche. I kicked myself after that happened. I could have thrown the crunch immediately to knock him out. Now he just knocks me out, and he brings in his Bronzong. If I had that Skuntank against Bronzong, we could have made something happen. Now he's in total control of the game. So I should have thrown the crunch immediately. You saw I overfarmed once, and then I clicked on it, but he was already at an Avalanche. I didn't think he had that much energy, guys. Didn't think he did. But I was wrong. So he's going to be able to win that one, game 2. So that's totally fine. Definitely a mistake on my end. So we're going to jump into game 3. So Skuntank versus Azumarill. So again, positive for me. I think I just go straight Sludge Bomb again. That's generally what I do in this matchup, going straight Sludge Bomb. because, yeah, just going to go Sludge Bomb. If he shields, great, we get a shield. He does shield. So we're going to pick up a shield. You can see how much Poison Jab is doing. So I'm going to go ahead and shield as well. So it's going to be a play rough. I thought it would be, but it would still do a lot. And what do I do here? He gets to another charge attack. So I actually am going to double shield. So because of that, I think I go Crunch. Let's see. I go Crunch because of how low he is. Now, I honestly don't think this is enough to knock it out, but even if it's not, we can farm down. So as you can see, it's not enough, but we're able to farm down and get energy. So we are down a shield, but we have energy on my Skunk Tank. You know, anything, he actually brings in Frostless, so that's beautiful. This is going to guarantee his final shield. So we're actually going to take that shield. And I do not have my Noctowl with me this time. So I was trying to catch an Avalanche again, but I wasn't able to. He was able to throw it. So good game. Or not good game, but good play. So Skunk Tank collapses. In comes my Azumel. So we're going to be able to... We could take a Shadow Ball or two, right? So we're going to be able to take one. And he does get to one, of course. So going to be that Shadow Ball. We could still take another, maybe not after the Powder Snows, but he switches into Bronzong. Again, I love it, because we're able to go for Hydro Pump, going to do massive amounts of damage to that Bronzong, as we saw earlier. So I'm going to farm up a little bit, because I maybe want to throw, my thought process was I wanted to throw a Play Rough at that Frostless, but I didn't switch out in time, and he does get to his Psyshock. It doesn't knock me out. So at this point, my goal is to, okay, let's farm him down. Let's farm him down. He's going to be able to get to a Bulldoze. But Bulldoze is not going to knock me out at this range. We're weak to it, but it's not stab, not going to be enough. It does a lot. So my goal is to just farm down and just throw that Psyshock, right? We just throw the Psyshock at the Frostlass. We take it and throw it into the Frostlass's face, as we do right now. And I was afraid he would get to an Avalanche, but we get to that Psyshock first because we farmed down the opposing Bronzong, able to win round 6, currently 5-1. So in theory, I was like, well, if I win the final round and there's a tie, I could definitely be in the playoffs and possibly win. So we're jumping up against my friend Fergie for the final round, round 7. Let's hear it, guys. This is an awesome trainer. I knew about him before going into the battle. So his team is Beedrill, Azumel, Hypno, Toxicroak, Frostlass, and Alolan Muck. So again, Beedrill and Frostlass. See him all the time. I saw him all day long. But they're that good. So he goes straight Sludge Wave. Okay. It does a lot of damage. We're going to go Crunch. I think we have enough for 2, almost 2 Crunch. So he does shield that one. Okay, we take a shield. He does go for a charge attack. I am going to go ahead and opt to shield this. So going to be a Dark Pulse. Totally fine. And he switches into his Azumel, and I'm going to throw my Sludge Bomb, because I'm like, well, he probably does not want to use his final shield, but he actually does, so he uses both shields. So I try desperately to get to another Sludge Bomb, and sometimes that, you know, in this tournament we saw it didn't work out for me when I was trying so hard to get to it, but we're actually able to, although he does faint my Skunk Tank, but at least we did all that damage. So I bring in my Noctowl. I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. Now, he actually has Ice Beam on his Azumel, so unfortunately, going to do a tremendous amount to my Noctowl, but Noctowl is such a beast. He gets to another one. So I'm like, so I'm going to go ahead and definitely shield this. Didn't think the game was looking too good for me. So I do go ahead and farm him down. Okay, let's see what comes in. Going to be that Alolan Muck, and I go straight Sky Attack. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Sky Attack right now. And he makes a great play. He actually bails after I use my energy into Toxicroak. But luckily for us, we're still able to get to a Sky Attack to knock out that Toxicroak. So because Toxicroak was in the back, we're actually able to win this one because I switch into my Munchlax. And I'm going to be able to get to a Body Slam. There's no doubt about it. Probably could just faint him down with Lick, honestly. But he goes for Sludge Wave. Does a lot. I don't want to risk it. So I go for my Body Slam. I don't want to try and farm him down. Because at the end of the day, Alolan Muck does resist Lick. So I'm going to go for Body Slam. And we're actually going to win game 1. So I thought I was going to lose that one. But we still win it. So really well played. So jumping into game 2 against Ferg. So he is leading Noctowl. Well, I'm leading Noctowl. He's leading Frostlass. So definitely a bad match for me. So again, I think I just go straight. Okay, so he does get to an Avalanche. I am going to go ahead and shield this one up. And it's going to be an Avalanche, of course. And I'm going to farm up extra energy. And I go for my Sky Attack. Let's see if he wants to shield this. He might shield it because of how squishy Frostlass is. He does. So I'm going to try and catch an Avalanche. We're able to catch it with Bronzong. So we're able to catch that Avalanche with Bronzong. Still does a good amount, honestly, but he's able to answer back with Alolan Muck, so that's unfortunate, and gets to a Dark Pulse. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this so I could get to my Bulldoze. So I'm like, maybe he won't shield Bulldoze, and even if he does, at least we take his final shield, right? So it's like kind of like, we'll see what happens. So I do throw my Bulldoze, and he does shield it. Okay, nice shield. So I guess he's farming up extra energy, and then he throws. He couldn't farm me down because I would be able to get to a Bulldoze, so he throws a Dark Pulse. So I am like, okay, I have Noctowl and Skunk Tank. I bring in Noctowl because I really don't want my Noctowl to meet up with that Frostlass, unless if I have loaded energy. So I'm going to go get to the Sky Attack, not enough to knock it out. I didn't get an Excellent, and he gets to a Charge it. You know, that Excellent might have actually cost me not getting it. So he gets to a Dark Pulse, doesn't faint me, and he brings in his Frostlass, and that does faint me. So I bring in my Skunk Tank, and he does get to an Avalanche before I'm able to get to a Crunch, which is really unfortunate. So Avalanche going to do a tremendous amount to me. So I do get to my Crunch, and this is going to knock out Frostlass. So, yep, Frostlass is going to collapse just fine, and he's going to bring in that Beedrill. So Beedrill's going to be able to farm me down. Actually, he throws in the Charge Attack, but it could have farmed me down, you know. So it's going to be X's, and that's going to knock me out. So good game. Good game. So we're jumping into the final game right now, and I swear I was so tempted to lead Noctowl because I'm like, what are the chances he leads Frostlass again? He probably won't be expecting Noctowl, but I lead Munchlax, he leads Beedrill. I wish I led Noctowl. I wish I went with my gut, but I didn't. You know, I stick around, seeing how this matchup plays out. He is going to go for a Charge Attack, going to be an X-Scissor, okay. So we're charging up energy. I'm going to throw my Body Slam, perhaps trying to bait a shield. Maybe he'll think it's Bulldoze. So we throw the Body Slam. He does shield, okay. Okay, and he does get to another Charge Attack. I am going to go ahead and shield this. It's actually going to be another X-Scissor, which I could take. But I do decide to shield it because his Poison Jabs would do a lot. Trying to get to the Bulldoze. Maybe I should have thrown another Body Slam. I don't know. I don't know if I should have. It wouldn't have knocked out Beedrill, I don't think. But anyway, I do get to my Bulldoze. I almost had 2 Body Slams, so I definitely should have thrown a Body Slam. He does shield that. But I was like, what if he doesn't shield? Yeah, it was definitely a mistake because we could have knocked him out if we went Body Slam instead. I don't know why I went Bulldoze. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. But that's okay. Anyway, I bring in Noctowl. He switches. I'm going to stick around. I'm like, okay. I'm going to go ahead and go for my Sky Attack. So Sky Attack, going to do a good amount. And I switch trying to catch the Charge Attack, the Dark Pulse, or the Sludge Wave. Let's see what it is. Going to be a Sludge Wave. And he's just staying in. I think that was a mistake. You know why that was a mistake? Because he has Frostlass in the back. I know I didn't know that, but he's been bringing Frostlass, so I probably should have assumed it. So anyway, he brings in Beedrill, and Beedrill is able to go for a Charge Attack. So this Beedrill is going to go for X-Scissor. It doesn't knock me out, but then he'll be able to feint me with Poison Jab. I bring in my Noctowl, and he switches into his Frostlass. So I should have kept... I probably would have won if I kept Noctowl in against Alolan Muck. That was my mistake. Anyway, I go 5-2. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. See you in the next video. I hope you have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.